Y'all, this episode felt like the calm before absolute chaos. From season 4, episode 4 slows things down a little compared to the insanity of the last few episodes. But don't mistake that for filler. This episode is packed with emotional moments, creepy discoveries, and setups that feel like they're about to explode later in the season. And honestly, the town feels more psychologically dangerous than ever. The episode opens at the police station where Boyd, Tabitha, Jade, Donna, Ellis, and Henry discuss the yellow suit Victor found in the woods, and right away, tension fills the room. Henry insists he should speak to Victor alone, trying to step back into the role of father after years apart. Boyd suggests everyone should approach Victor together, but Henry pushes back. Honestly, Henry might quietly be becoming one of the most tragic characters in the show. Imagine losing your family to this nightmare place, then finally arriving there decades later only to discover your son survived all of it completely traumatized. Meanwhile, Boyd openly admits something terrifying. Whatever game the town is playing with them, they're losing. That desperation pushes them toward one of the wildest decisions yet, letting Jade take hallucinogenic mushrooms from the haunted forest in hopes they'll help him understand the symbols and visions. And somehow, that doesn't even sound crazy anymore in this town. That's where Fromm is right now. The impossible has become normal. Back at Sarah's house, Sophia continues her quiet manipulation campaign. She reads letters from the pastor's car before Sarah approaches her, trying to explain what the town forced her to do in the past. Sarah genuinely doesn't understand why Sophia would want to live with someone the town views as a monster, but Sophia responds with kindness, almost too much kindness. And then suddenly Sarah clutches her head in pain as Sophia calmly sits nearby. That scene says everything. Sophia isn't just observing anymore. She's testing control. At the same time, Tabitha and Jade discuss Ethan's obsession with the Lake of Tears. And honestly, their reaction is frustrating. They're living in a town full of monsters, impossible visions, teleporting trees, and supernatural forces. Yet they still act skeptical about Ethan's belief in the lake. Jade tells Tabitha to let Ethan hold on to his imagination, while Tabitha apologizes for how she reacted before. But Ethan's storyline quietly becomes one of the emotional centers of the episode. Using the radio from the RV, Ethan tries contacting Jim, still struggling with grief in his own way, and later he finally tells Tabitha why he kept the Lake of Tears secret from her, because he knew she wouldn't believe him. That moment hits hard, because Ethan isn't just chasing fantasy, he's trying to make sense of trauma in the only way a child can. Meanwhile, Julie and Randall continue researching storywalking. And honestly, this might be one of the creepiest concepts the show has introduced. The idea that Julie can enter moments from the past while physically vulnerable in the present is horrifying enough already. But now they're trying to create a bookmark system so Julie can intentionally return to specific moments in time. Julie cuts her hair short so it can't be grabbed during her visions, which immediately connects visually to the older version of Julie we've already seen. That detail feels very important. Then we check back in with Fatima, and honestly, her storyline becomes way less sinister and way more emotional. Kenny discovers Fatima secretly building strange boulder-like objects from wet dirt inside Colony House, which obviously alarms everyone. But when Boyd finally asks her why she's doing it, the answer is heartbreaking. Fatima explains she's building a golem, a protective figure from stories her father used to tell her as a child. Something meant to protect people, something strong. After everything she experienced with Smiley and the lingering connection she still feels toward him, building the golem is her way of fighting back against fear. And honestly, it may be one of the most human moments she's had all season. Then Victor finally reveals the truth about the man in yellow. After noticing the trees may have moved again, Victor reluctantly opens up to Henry and shows him old buried drawings. One of them depicts the man in yellow. And then Victor reveals something horrifying. The man in yellow arrived in town just like everyone else. At first, people thought he was normal, until everyone died. Victor then explains that after the massacre, he went searching for his mother near the bottle tree, and saw the man in yellow eating her. Yeah, that changes everything, because now we know this entity isn't just manipulating the town. He's been physically present for far longer than anyone realized. Meanwhile, Sarah begins hearing the voices again. This time they tell her to take a sip of water in the diner and pour the rest back into the pitcher. And honestly, that's terrifying specifically because it seems so small. Sarah immediately fears the voices are trying to make her poison everyone somehow. But unlike earlier seasons, Sarah doesn't hide this anymore. She tells Elgin what's happening almost immediately. That's growth. She's still scared, still vulnerable, but she's trying to fight the manipulation instead of blindly obeying it. Then we get one of the biggest scenes of the episode. Julie enters the ruins to test the bookmark theory while Randall watches over her. And suddenly, she story walks into the aftermath of a massacre. Bodies are everywhere, and standing there is the man in yellow, feeding on someone's body. This time, though, something feels different. Instead of laughing or ignoring Julie, he notices her immediately, almost like she was never supposed to reach this point in time. Julie drops the bookmark before being pulled back into reality, but the bookmark doesn't work, which raises an even bigger question. Did the man in yellow stop it somehow? Then the episode delivers its final huge mystery. At the reservation, Ethan, Tabitha, Donna, and Ellis finally reach the lake. They use water from it on an injured bird, hoping it might help heal it. And at first, nothing happens. Then suddenly, one of the residents discovers a rope buried underground near Ellis's crops. They pull it, and something begins rising from beneath the lake. And that's where the episode ends. No answers, no explanation, just another horrifying mystery emerging from the depths. This episode may have been slower than some of the others, but honestly, that made it even creepier, because Fromm is clearly building towards something massive. The town is changing. The man in yellow is becoming more active, and everyone searching for answers feels closer than ever to discovering something they were never supposed to find. Let us know what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching.